Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Houston Oilers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. It's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season, but it has to start right now.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And not the start he was hoping for there as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Kenny Vaccaro is an excellent player. Can cover in the slot, but his best attributes, tackling people and rushing the quarterback.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
Yeah, that's how we do, D.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Out of the gun, Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Higgins. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. He's got Higgins over the middle. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
And now out comes Houston.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 90, cool. Get that ball here, let's get that ball right here. Back. And go.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else. Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Love. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 9 catches, 95 yards, and a score.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit. And this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
That's it, baby. We got one.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He gets it to Humphreys. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Love looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Here's Johnson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
11 yards there and a Lion first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Throwing up.
Waiting. Right there, remember, 55. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And now it's 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey. Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
False start, offense.
That'll make it 1st and 15. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Here's Bernard. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Here we go. Set. 30 pace. Let's go. I got him.
To throw on 2nd down. Love. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. He was trying to go back to Corey Davis there. Third down here.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away.
Let's go, baby.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Stafford looking downfield for Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And now out comes Houston. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
First down, Love. And Walker has it. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
From the gun, Love. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation, because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Ready, go.
Hand off to Thompson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends, because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and it's 3-0 here in the second quarter. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Okay, 2nd and 1, you get nothing. What now on 3rd and 1?
Sorry about that. I was so excited I jumped in on you. This is almost like practice to me. Line it up and do it again. You didn't get it right the first time. Just get right back on the ball and go. It doesn't matter that they know you're coming. You ought to be able to pick up this short yardage. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Only 2 there on the dump off. It's 3rd down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
That's taken on the 25. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Muscles him off. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Check.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got Thompson here, complete. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And this one's incomplete. He was looking to get that one to Chris Thompson, and it's 3rd and 5.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Walker with a grab, left side. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Ready.
Operating from the gun. Love. Incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Trey Flowers in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
This offense so far on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. From the 50, Stafford. He gets it left side to Johnson. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
A 55-yard attempt.
So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Giants who are out in front. The Giants trying to avoid an 0-4 start that would be darn near impossible to come back from. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. 2 touchdown passes there for Mitchell Trubisky. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And at the moment, that game is tied with the visiting New York Jets. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway.
Let's go, do this.
And now out comes Houston. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time. Forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Wide, get wide.
They go with Thompson again. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, Love. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Stafford now to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. A quick throw to the left flat, and he's got it.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Come on, fellas.
Still 1st down.
Ready? 250. Watching you go. How you get over here? How you get over here? Hey, hot.
Now it's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right. 4 down.
Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
To throw is Stafford. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. The Lions on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, Stafford. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. To throw on second down is Stafford. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Lions on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him, do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 13. It's a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Brett Kern now. He's been terrific so far. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 18. Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, it's Johnson, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Check 55, Mike. Blue there, blue there.
On first and 10, Stafford to the right and complete to Galladay. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
Check 55, watch the run, watch the run.
Now on second and 13, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can...
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. We still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but a second field goal now makes it a 6-3 score.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would call this the definition of winning ugly. To me, this is gorgeous. I'm a defender, right? I love these kind of games. The tension is high. Who's going to make the play to win it? And right now, that field goal may be the advantage they need.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Uncorks one for Davis, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up.
He's got a man. Complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Off the play fake. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
56. Mike, 56.
Back to throw. Love. Throw left side complete. It's Walker. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. A 4th and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down 1 score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Let's go, baby.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball.
And, oh, that is going to be a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a 1-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently. Right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still no yardage. Okay.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Here's Sam Martin now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment.
Offense.
Let's see what our referee says. Taylor Luan, the former first-rounder from Michigan, flag there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Looking to throw. Love. Pass caught left side by Humphries. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Thompson. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Obviously a big 1st down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. He's back to throw. And Davis has it over the middle. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. He'll look to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Corey Davis with time running out. And his guys are going to retake the lead.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
From the gun, Love. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So they're unable to stretch it to a 3-point lead. Now you got to be careful on the kickoff because a field goal obviously beats you.
Definitely, and that's why they went for 2. They wanted to make sure a field goal wouldn't beat them. Now they're in a position where they've got to cover well and make sure they don't get into range and put one through the posts.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. They've gone to the 4th quarter now in Dallas, and the Cowboys have wound up winning that football game. Dak Prescott, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. A costly sack. They'll have to use a timeout here. And barring a defensive penalty, they'll be looking at one final play. Flush to his right. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair. Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.